I'm Cath Beaufort. I've been a member at the club for 22 years, I think now, and I've been sailing a little bit longer than that. My passion for sailing started when my family took me to Sydney for the bicentenary, Australia's bicentenary, and our close family friend was commander of the First Fleet reenactment, and so I was fortunate to go on board quite a few of the First Fleet ships, and that got me really excited, and I decided I really wanted to get out there on the sea myself. And so not long after that I applied for a voyage on the Young Endeavour, and I was successful to get on there and had a really brilliant time, loved sailing, loved being out in the ocean. And not long after that I was fortunate to be taken under the wing of Past Commodore Peter Rosethorn, who took me out sailing and mentored me and gave me brilliant opportunities to get out and start sailing. And sailed on lots of different boats from the club with lots of different people, and I've sailed lots of different places around the world, and now have a little S80 up and go, which I've had for a few years and have been having fun taking out and racing around the bay. I did the 50th Sydney to Hobart in 1994, and I sailed on Helsel 2, and Peter Rosethorn had chartered the boat for about 6 months, and there was a crew of 16 of us, and I was actually the only girl on board. And I was very fortunate to go on that trip because I was certainly not very experienced at the time compared to some of the amazing sailors that were on the boat, and it was just an amazing experience. Crossing Bass Strait was fantastic. We had actually beautiful weather. We had, I think we must have had a northerly, we had the kite up, we actually got up to 22 knots, we were surfing down the waves, the water was bright blue. That actually was the highlight, Bass Strait. Yeah, I've had some brilliant trips overseas too. I did Cowes Week one year. I had another amazing experience sailing with an all-girls crew from Royals here over in Sweden, and we did the Round Gotland race, and we chartered a Scampi 30, which was the boat we were sailing here, owned by Tanya Stanford, and we had an amazing time. So that race was over 300 miles. We really didn't have a lot of breeze for most of that race actually, so it took us over 3 days. They got us a 50-foot boat that was like our accommodation boat, our hotel boat. Then we took both boats out to Suntown, which is where the race started, on the edge of the archipelago, and off we went. When we came back in, our hotel boat was waiting for us. We were very spoilt, but it was just a magic experience. And midsummer too. Sailing during midsummer is fantastic. It never gets dark. You can see what you're doing in the middle of the night. So that was brilliant, yeah. I think the Yacht Club has a great sense of community, and just a lot of people that are like a big family that are all happy to help anyone else, and someone comes and works on your boat and you help someone else, and I think that it does have that really fantastic sense of community. There's been a bigger focus for me, I suppose, in more recent years, perhaps the last 10 years or so, on getting women involved, and there's absolutely no reason why just as many women can't be out there sailing. So I received an Order of Australia this year, and the official title is for Radiotherapy, International Relations and Sailing. So he was hydrographer and cartographer in the Royal Navy. In fact, some of the charts that he did, I believe, were used up until the 1970s. It's just so hard to imagine these early explorers that just set out to sea for months and months on these big ships, and some of them even not so big, and sailing around the world, and some of them engaged in battle, and I just get blown away by it because we have it so easy, and we go out in our nice little boats and potter around and go for a bit of a sail, and we have our GPS and it's all very easy, and I just can't even begin to imagine what it was like. So the Young Endeavour was just fantastic. We would be out in Bass Strait and okay, it's 6 a.m, right, we need 4 people to climb up the mast out onto the yard arms and untie the sails, and we're going to, put the topsail down. Who's going up? And we're bouncing backwards and forwards, and we're all thinking, they might die up there. So with sailing, I mean, there's nothing better than being out in the fresh air and out on the water. I believe that's me, and anyone at the club would know that. But I think sailing is just so brilliant because there's so much to learn, and you're just always learning. And it's actually, there's a lot of complexity about it too. So I think it's a real challenge. Of course, you've always got different conditions, and there's nothing better than working really well as a crew and having a boat sailing really well and everyone working really well together and just having fun too. But a crew that just is all, teamwork is, I love teamwork, and a team that functions well, there's nothing better, I think.